Hello and welcome back to HardReset.Info. In this video, I will show you best optimization tips for speeding up your VIVO X200 FE. Let's begin. We all know that having a slow system kind of sucks, so let's fix it. First, we can clear our data. We can easily do that by heading into settings, scrolling down a little until we'll see RAM and storage. Now we want to go into manage storage and we want to simply hit that beautiful clean up all button, as it will automatically clear garbage data that is doing nothing, only taking space. Then you want to go back once, and as you can see at the top we have a section called RAM. You want to go into there and make sure that you have extended RAM enabled. It's an incredibly useful feature that will basically double your RAM, as you can see in this feature. Now, it doesn't really work exactly as RAM. It basically takes an existing storage memory and kinda makes it so it works similar to RAM. Nonetheless, it will help you with the system speed and with the ability to have many applications opened at the same time in the background without feeling lag or crash or anything like that. So yeah. Now, on to the next part, the applications. It's pretty obvious that the thing that wastes the more system power is our notifications. And sorry, not notifications, but applications that are coming through Play Store or other sources, and they are sending notifications, updating themselves in the background all the time, etc, etc. And they all add up to slower system, unfortunately. So what can you do? Well, first you have to locate power-hungry and unused applications. So let's do that. We can go back and click settings. Here in the settings, we can, for example, go into battery. Now, you can scroll down into usage since last full charge. And as you can see, here we have a nice list of every single application that is filtered by the most battery percentage used. As you can see, I have plenty of weird things, since I have like system home screen and camera and Google Play Store, and these are all applications that you're not typically using. Probably for you, this section will be filled with social media applications and something like that. So what you want to do then? Well, let's say we have at the top of the list Facebook here, or TikTok, or WhatsApp, or YouTube Shorts, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Let's say that we have located successfully power-hungry application. What then? Well, it's incredibly useful and incredibly simple. First, you want to go back into apps in the main settings. And then you want to go with see all apps, or even before we do that, we can go back and we can also go with screen time. Using the information from the screen time and from our battery usage, we can nicely dedicate which applications we're using the less and which of these applications are using the most battery. As you can see, the ratio is pretty obvious. We want to get rid of applications that we're using the less and that are using the most battery. So once again, let's simply say that it was a Facebook. Let's go back into our app list. Let's locate Facebook, which is right here. And let's think what we can do. Well, first we can go to storage and cache. As you can see, there is some very big amount of data, but we can't really clear anything since it's not user data nor it's cache data. So that's a not very good way to fix your system speed. But what we can do instead is go to app battery usage. We can click that and we can simply disallow background usage. As you can see, disabling it will save battery, and also it will save your processing power, since it doesn't really need to take care of Facebook anymore, which is also incredibly useful. But let's say that it's still not helping. what we can do then? Well, we can simply uninstall our Facebook, then head into Google Play Store and search for other Facebook called Facebook Lite. This is a lightweight version of our Facebook. As you can see, the normal Facebook weighs by default 78 megabytes, though as you could see before it was actually 277, but as you can see, this is the size of the Facebook, and this is the Lite version of the Facebook. As you can see, the difference is pretty big. So let's simply install our Facebook Lite, and while it's installing, oh wow, it's already installed, just like it would be so much easier and so much lightweight, incredible. Anyway, it's important to note that so many applications have a nicer, lighter versions of themselves. Facebook is not the exception. For example, okay, in Twitter is a bad example because it's now X, and I don't think there's an X Lite, but I'm pretty sure there is a WhatsApp Lite version. And there are even browser Lite versions. For example, we have a normal Opera, but we can also find Opera Mini. So as you can see, I will now search for those. And as you can see, we have our normal Opera and also Opera Mini, which is a lot faster than a normal Opera. And speaking of browsers, these are also incredibly important while talking about speed of our system. Let's go back to our browser. For us, it's Chrome browser. And as you can see, we do have currently 7 tabs opened in the background. Now, it's not the worst, like I've seen worse, for sure, but I know many people whose tab amount is so big that the number is disappearing and is actually switched to a little smiley face. Now you would need to have 99 or more tabs in order to see a smiley face, so I'm not going to click plus icon for this long, but it's important to know that every single tab in the background will waste a little bit of your RAM and a little bit of your processing power. What you want to do? Well, you want to clean up. You can easily do that by alternatively clicking the X icon on every single thing, or clicking 3 buttons in the top right corner and simply close all tabs. Close all tabs and groups, and as you can see, we have a nice tidiness, which will help our system tremendously. And now, this is the part where I normally advise you to try to change your browser. I know that especially on PC, Chrome is known for wasting a lot of your resources, so having a nicer, lightweight browser is incredibly important. And lastly, if you are coming from some sort of older device, or maybe this video is now like 7 years old or something, and your phone is really struggling with speed, I have some sort of last resort option for you, and it's to perform a hard reset. Yay, reference to our channel name, hooray! But performing a hard reset will remove everything from our phone, including apps, including data, including images, everything. But in return, it could make it faster. How we can do that? Well, we want to go to settings, main site of settings. Now scroll all the way down, go into system management. As you can see here, we have reset options, and at the bottom, erase all data, factory reset. Be very careful when doing that, since it will, as you can see, erase every single thing that you have. And before you actually do that, you could potentially do a backup and then retrieve your applications and everything else back, but it wouldn't be really a kill and pointless in terms of speeding up your phone. Of course, it's completely up to you, but once again, there is some sort of last resort option. It's to simply perform an all data reset. But yeah, that's all for this video. If you found it useful, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.